Y'all, it is T-minus how many days until we actually get to 2022? If you're watching this video when it's released, and I think we have a couple of more weeks until we actually hit the beginning of 2022, but maybe you're finding this because you are on the hunt for your 2022 planner. So whether you are looking for inspiration on what planner you should use in 2022, or maybe you just wanna know what another girl in the world is using to organize her year in 2022, I am here to help you out because in today's video, I am going to be taking you through my 2022 planner stack. This is seriously one of my favorite videos to do every single year, and probably not for the reason that you think it is. I really love doing this video because it lets me think about the past year, and I'm a very reflective person. I love to think about why do things work and do they not work, and all of those different things that come with reflection. And when I look back over this year, I'm looking back and seeing just how much my planner stack has changed from when I made this video last year. And the funny thing is, because literally my planner, my 2021 planner video released around this time last year, and I'm not using a single one of those planners that I've talked about, but I have used planners this whole year, and I think that's the beauty of planning, is that we can use different systems and different tools to help us out no matter what stage of life that we may be in. I love doing this video partly because it's reflective, partly because I get to talk about planners, and partly because it's a snapshot of what my life is today, right now, here in December of 2021. First things first, if you are new here, hey, my name is Lauren and I'm your go-to gal and best friend when it comes to all things planning, productivity, and how to use the resources that you have to plan today for a better tomorrow. If you've clicked on this video and maybe you're intrigued by what the heck a planner stack means, I'm here to define it for you. A planner stack is just a phrase that we like to use here in the planner community to show a stack of planners that one might use at any given time. Whether this is your first year planning, or maybe you can't remember a time where you weren't planning, I want to say first and foremost, you do not have to use a planner stack at all. When I was new to planning, I feel like I was coaxed into using like 11 different planners at one time. I ended up getting a lot of shiny object syndrome and a little bit of FOMO, and just wanted to use all these other things because other people were. But we're not doing that here this year, and I'm excited to show you guys what we have in store. So before we jump into this video, if you know what planner you'll be using in 2022, let me know in the comments down below. All right, y'all, so drum roll please. The first planner that I am going to be using in 2022, are y'all surprised, is going to be my Erin Condren Life Planner. I actually have it with me right now because, you know, I always have my planner on me. But this has been the planner that I have been using since June. It is actually on the academic calendar year, and it is the planner that I will continue to use into the new year. It's another year for me in an Erin Condren Life Planner. I've become so accustomed to their hourly layout. I took a little hiatus back in 2022, a vertical, but I'm back here in the hourly for 2021. Or shoot, 2022. I've already messed up the year. I will say, for transparency's sake, I have bounced between the vertical layout, the horizontal layout, the daily layout, and this is the one that works the best for me. One of my guiding ideas is that a planner is supposed to make you feel better and help you out on your day-to-day. I need the structure of an hourly layout. I know that about myself, even though I don't even necessarily use every single hour of the day. I do a lot of to-do list here in this planner. I don't necessarily use the hourly in the way that it's intended to, but the structure and the format is what works best for me. Now, I also will say, I went back and forth for a long time between the softbound planner from Erin Condren and the coil planner as well, and ended up deciding on the coil because a lot of the accessories that I do have for my planner, such as my stylized sticky notes, some of the interchangeable covers, all of those work best with the coil planner from Erin Condren. I will say I love their softbound planner, and it was a really hard decision, one that I went back and forth on for a pretty long time, but ended up choosing the coil. Though I might just have to find a reason to use that softbound because it's gorgeous and it's It's just great. So the next thing that I have in my lineup, you'll notice I said thing, not a planner, because it is not technically a planner, but I am going to be using an Erin Condren 7x9 notebook. This is kind of like my content planner for the year. I know it's a notebook, it's not actually a planner, and I wanna let you know that I have used a content planner since doing Plan with Laur. Something that comes up a lot here in the planner community, because a lot of people will say like, why don't you just go digital? Well, a lot of my content planning is digital. I actually do use a Google Calendar to track all of those things, and I use the Google Drive system almost daily to house my content, to share my content, and it's what works best for me. So this notebook is less like, there's no monthly sections, I don't have anything cool and tab. This is just pretty much a place for me to brain dump all of my ideas. I have had one of these notebooks since I started Plan with Laur. It's where I have dreamed out the things such as a Patreon group or different brain collaborations that I've had. Listen, I'm a paper and pen girl. Even though we live in a digital world, I am a paper and pen type of girl, and so it is important to me to have something that is related to my creative space, which is Plan with Laur, and to have that in. So 7x9 is my strategy for my content ideas, for my posts, thoughts about goal setting, and just like note sessions from my Patreon group. I use that in conjunction with some digital planning for my social media. So I don't know, do we count notebooks as a part of the planner stack? Let me know in the comments down below, because my planner stack may be a little larger than I think it is. The next planner, you see, we're back to planners that I do have for the upcoming year. This is going to be a planner that I won't have forever, but one that I am excited to use in the next year. It is the Erin Condren Wedding Planner. Truthfully, if there's any planner in the stack that I know that I'm gonna stick to in this year, it is going to be this one. I'm getting married next summer, and I have been using this planner pretty religiously when it comes to scheduling out things, having meetings with our wedding planner, and just like kind of feeling like I'm keeping the wedding all together. I love the planner because the details are so thoughtfully put together and curated to give you the flexibility where you need it, along with plenty of structure. There are to-dos, timelines, budgeting guidelines, and so many notes pages, which I think is so essential when it comes to actually planning a wedding. And I think the cool thing about the planner is that it's undated, so it allows for a multi-year wedding planning process. I've been using it here for a while now, and ultimately our wedding planning process is going to be about 20 months. So this will be perfect to make sure that we can house it all together. I really, really like it too, because not only is it like something that I'm using for planning, which is very important, but I also think, and I'm trying to really keep this as kind of like a memory keeper as well. So I'm trying to, when I can, just like write in things that are coming to mind or special memories that I don't want to forget, and have it as a little keepsake as a part of our wedding planning process. This next one is a notebook as well. And it's funny because I had an idea of what I was going to use, and then I went to California with the Go Wild team. And if you saw that vlog, then you know I found something for my planner lineup that I was really, really wishing for. So before I jump into this next notebook as a part of my process, I wanna give you some advice. And it's the advice that I give a lot of people when they're going to pick out their planner, which directly relates to why this planner. So just go with me here for a second. When you are picking out your planner, envision the life that you want your next year to be. And what I mean by this is, in my next year, in 2022, we have a lot of travel coming up. We have our own wedding, we are in weddings, we are going to weddings, we have family travel and personal travel and business travel that are supposed to happen. Now, who knows if that will actually come to fruition? However, that is the plan as of now. And as we all know, plans may change. But when I'm starting to think about my year, and I'm thinking about the year that I wanna have, are my planners reflective of that? So for example, because we are traveling so much, I don't want to necessarily have to take around 5 or 6 planners with me everywhere that we go. I think it's a little unrealistic. It won't all fit in my carry-on. I don't know that if I had 5 or 6 planners to keep up with in this next year that I personally could, given how much different movement there is. So I've been really intentional of trying to think about or really limit the planner stack that I'm creating so that it is very portable. So what I'm looking for in this upcoming year is a lot of portability and durability, because it is going to be going in airplanes, on-car trips, and you know, whatever the year may hold. So my advice to you is to think about the year that you intend to have. Again, may or may not come to fruition, fingers crossed that it does, and build your planner stack around that. So with all of that in mind, I was sitting down and I love to goal set, and I love to memory keep, and I love to journal. Part of my goals for this year have been to stay consistent with all of them, and I have. and it's been so awesome. But one thing, again, as I am starting to think about portability in this next year, is that having 3 different systems, one for memory keeping, one for journaling, and one for goal setting, is not necessarily in alignment for what I have envisioned for my next year. I have just wanted something that I can keep them all. While I was in California, I just kept talking about how I wanted one notebook that I could journal in every single day, that I could take notes in, that I could set goals in, that I could check in with my goals, that I could use some of the goal setting systems that I have. You know, I really love the Moxie Life goal setting system. I could use their ideas in the companion notebooks and kind of use it in conjunction with it. And then we were in California and I walked into the Erin Condren store, and there, looking at me in the face, was an A5 Kiki K notebook, and it's like the lights went off and it was one of those movie moments where it's just me and that planner in the room, and it feels like destiny. That is actually the next thing in my lineup. It is going to be an A5 Kiki K notebook. I am on the hunt for kind of bullet journal YouTube channels, so if you have any that you love, let me know in the comments down below. This will not become a full bujo by any means, but I do want to track my goals in it and track a couple other things in it. So always looking for ideas and for inspiration. But that's not it for today's video. We're not done here. Just because I chose these planner for 2022, I want to let you know that the stack may change. As we saw from 2021 to now, my planner stack usually does change. And I want to give you some perspective and a little bit of reflection in hopes that it helps you in your frame of mind as you go into the 2022 with some new planners. A lot of the times you'll hear people talk about this idea of planner peace, right? This idea of finding one planner that you'll use for the whole entire year and you'll never get tired of, and you'll be so okay with it and all of this. But I'll give you a little bit of my thoughts on planner peace. I have 4 planners for my stack here in 2022. And again, if the concept of a stack overwhelms you, don't think twice about it. Just have one planner, that's totally fine. And you'll notice that 2 of my planners aren't real planners. I'm using 2 notebooks for very specific reasons. One for content planning and one as just kind of like a catch-all journal goal setting thing. And you'll notice that a 3rd planner of mine is highly specialized in regards to wedding planning. We have this concept of planner peace, right? This ideal state in which you have a solid but not stressful planning system or routine that allows you to show up on a time to appointments, plan intentionally for your life, and achieve your goals. And we put a lot of pressure on getting to that ideal state, right? We put a lot of pressure, time, effort, and money to get there. But what I think is that planner peace just means having tools at your disposal to help you. So think about what planners will get you closer to that planner peace, aka just having tools at your disposal that help you in 2022. And along those lines, think about your planners and your goals for next year. Think way ahead to the end of 2022 and imagine that you've achieved your goals for the next year. What are going to be those tools and those resources and those things that you need to put in place now to help you get there? We call that idea planning with the end in mind. And one more thing I'll say before I go, I think it's okay to have a fun planner. There are so many different planner brands, notebook brands, stationery brands that have amazing products. And maybe you don't have a use for them all, but you want to support them, or maybe you just want to try it out. That's okay. For me, I snagged an Archer and Olive notebook just to try out for the year. It's not gonna officially be in my stack, and I'm also not gonna put pressure on myself to use it every single day. But I think it is 100% okay to have something fun, right? Planning, yes, is a way of life for a lot of us, and yes, is something that alleviates stress and helps with our anxiety and helps us plan a life that we love, but it's also a fun hobby. So let it be. Y'all already know there's nothing more exciting in the planning world than turning the page over to a blank spread, and in this case, into a new year and a new planner. There are so many opportunities ahead of you. Each day and each week, and now this new year, is a blank slate. So again, let me know in the comments which planners are you using here in 2022. If you are new here, hey, hello, hi, my name is Lauren, and I am your go-to gal and your best friend when it comes to all things planning, productivity, and how to use the resources that you have to plan today for a better tomorrow. I talk a whole bunch about how to use planners, different planner strategies, goal setting, and how we can use planners to help achieve all of that. So if that is something that interests you, I hope that you decide to stick around by hitting that red subscribe button. I have a whole lot of fun planned here planned for here in 2022, and I hope to see you guys along for the ride. As always, y'all, my name is Lauren here with Plan with Laur. Get excited for 2022 planning, and I'll see y'all next time.